Welcome, history enthusiasts, to Heretic History. Today, we're unraveling the life of a man who defied the limits of ambition. Alexander the Great, a name etched into eternity. A king who conquered empires before his 30th birthday. But who was he beyond the legends? A strategic genius, a cultural visionary, or a man consumed by his own myth? Let's journey to the rugged hills of ancient Macedonia and trace the footsteps of history's most enigmatic conqueror. Our story begins in 356 BCE, in the kingdom of Macedon, a land overshadowed by the glittering city-states of Greece. Here, Prince Alexander was born to King Philippaea, a military innovator, and Queen Olympias, a woman of fierce ambition. Legend claims Alexander's lineage traced back to Achilles and Hercules, a narrative Olympias zealously promoted. By age 13, Alexander's education was entrusted to Aristotle, the greatest mind of the era. For 3 years, the philosopher schooled him in logic, medicine, and the works of Homer. The Iliad became Alexander's obsession. He slept with a copy under his pillow, dreaming of emulating Achilles' glory. But this wasn't just a bookish prince. At 16, Philip I handed him command of Macedonia's cavalry during the Battle of Chaeronea. Alexander shattered the elite Theban sacred band, a force deemed invincible. The message was clear. Here was a leader who could outthink and outfight his enemies. In 336 BCE, tragedy struck. At his daughter's wedding, Philip I was assassinated by a disgruntled bodyguard. Chaos erupted. Enemies circled, sensing weakness. But 20-year-old Alexander moved swiftly. He eliminated rivals, silenced rebellious Greek city-states, and secured his throne with a blend of charisma and terror. Then came his masterstroke. To unite Greece under his banner, he revived his father's plan. Invade Persia, the ancient world's superpower. The Persians had burned Athens a century earlier, a grievance Greeks never forgot. Alexander positioned himself as their avenger. In 334 BCE, with 35,000 troops, he crossed the Hellespont into Asia Minor. His first act, leaping ashore to hurl a spear into the soil, declaring, "I accept this land from the gods." At the Battle of Granicus, Alexander faced 40,000 Persians. Against advice, he charged headfirst across a river. His boldness paid off. The Persian line shattered. Next, the coastal city of Tyre, a fortress on an island. For 7 months, Alexander's engineers built a causeway to reach its walls. When Tyre fell, 8,000 were slaughtered, a brutal lesson in defiance. But his crowning victory came at Gaugamela, 331 BCE. Outnumbered 5-1, Alexander lured King Darius II into a trap. While feigning a retreat on his right flank, he spearheaded a diagonal cavalry charge through a gap in the Persian lines, straight toward Darius. The king fled, and Persia's empire crumbled. Alexander marched into Babylon and Persepolis, the Persian capital. Here, stories diverge. Did he burn Persepolis in revenge for Athens, or was it a drunken accident? Either way, the message was sent. A new order ruled Asia. Yet Alexander wasn't merely a destroyer. In Egypt, he was crowned pharaoh and founded Alexandria, a city destined to become a beacon of knowledge. He embraced Persian customs, donning royal robes and demanding subjects prostrate before him, a move that alienated Macedonian generals. In 327 BC, he married Roxana, a Bactrian princess, urging his men to take local wives. His goal, a fused empire where Greek and Persian cultures coexisted. He even added Persian nobles to his army, declaring, "All nations are one family." But his men grumbled. Was their king losing touch with his roots? Alexander's ambition had no borders. In 326 BC, he pushed into India, clashing with King Porus at the Battle of the Hydaspes. Though victorious, his army revolted. After a decade of fighting, they'd had enough. Reluctantly, Alexander turned back. The return journey was a nightmare, crossing the Gedrogen Desert. Thousands perished from heat and thirst. Alexander shared their suffering, refusing extra water, but his aura was fading. In 324 BCE, his soulmate, General Hephaestion, died of fever. Alexander was inconsolable. He ordered extravagant funeral rites, and ominous whispers began. Was the king losing his grip? In 323 BCE, Alexander arrived in Babylon. Plans were laid to invade Arabia. Then, disaster. After a night of feasting, he collapsed with searing pain. For 12 days, he deteriorated. Fever, convulsions, paralysis. On June 11, at age 32, he whispered his last words. To the strongest. Was it typhoid, poison, or alcohol-induced pancreatitis? Ancient historians disagree. What's certain, his death ignited a power struggle. Generals carved up his empire, founding dynasties like the Ptolemies in Egypt. His body, placed in a gold sarcophagus, became a political trophy. Stolen, fought over, and lost to time. Alexander's empire fractured, but his vision endured. The Hellenistic Age saw Greek art, philosophy, and science flourish from Egypt to India. Euclid codified geometry. Archimedes revolutionized engineering. And the Library of Alexandria became humanity's first great repository of knowledge. Yet debates rage. Was he an enlightened unifier, or a narcissist who caused millions of deaths? He founded 20 cities but slaughtered thousands at Tyre. He spread Greek culture but executed friends for dissent. Perhaps he was both, a man of contradictions, as vast as the lands he conquered. So, was Alexander truly great? Or was his legacy a tapestry of brilliance and brutality? Let me know your thoughts below in the comment box. If this journey through ancient history captivated you, smash that like button, subscribe my channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Dive deeper with our heretic history, and as always, stay curious. Until next time, fellow time travelers.